What's up? Chris Williams here with Group Coach Nation. I am here today to talk about podcast guesting, and I'm going to keep this super simple. There are 3 things you need to do on every podcast, no matter what the podcast topic, no matter the audience, no matter the length, no matter the zone of genius you have. This is how I think through this. I like to ace podcast guesting experiences, okay? I break this down by the word ace. Now, let me walk you through this. Really straightforward, and I want you to, again, just take notes and think about how simple this is, okay? This is not about content prep. It's not about slides. It's not about which link should I have people go to. This is what works. This is what gets people attracted to you, and this is what actually makes the podcast host and their audience want to have you back again and again and again. First up, how to ace podcast guesting. Number 1, the A in ace. You actually have to add value. Add real value. Okay, let me just break this down for a second. This is not about you talking and just going on and on and on about things that people are going to be bored about, or you taking over the mic or the airtime or whatever. Always be sensitive to that kind of stuff, right? In fact, this kind of format right here where I'm just having to deliver content, I wish there was a conversation, right? In a podcast, you can have that conversation because you get to stop a lot, take a breath, and actually give the mic back to the podcast host. So critical. Remember, people are typically coming to that podcast because the host is attractive to them. You're the guest. They're coming for the host. They're listening for the host. So your job is to add a ton of value to the host and to the audience through your knowledge and expertise, whatever you bring, but keep that simple and succinct. The more you can be succinct when you're adding value, dropping one-liners, dropping 1 or 2 sentences, and then shutting up and letting the other person give feedback and thoughts, the better off you'll be. Works every time. That's the first thing. A in ACE is add value. Next up, the C, cheer on the host, right? Your job on this podcast, when you're the guest, is to add value. Sure, that's pretty much primarily why you're there, because you have something to add. But truly, the underlying job is cheering on that host. The host who invited you is freaking amazing. They're the ones who've done all the work, all the episodes, all the editing. They're the ones with the team. It's like going to a house party. You come into this party and all of a sudden there you are. And this host has prepared all this food, catered everything in. They've got an open bar. They've brought all these awesome guests. They've cleaned up the house, the yard, all the stuff, whatever. It's a big deal. Cheering on the host is such an awesome thing. Alex Sanfilippo, who owns this platform right here, he's freaking genius amazing. Like, if you don't know Alex, lean in, get to know him. What he's done and who he is and how he cares for the community is the real deal. Now, I'm saying that as an example for you here, but I know Alex personally, and this is freaking genius. What he does is just so amazing. So, like, truly, me cheering on the host is me being real. Cheer on the host that you're with. Who are these people? What are you doing with them? How can you just encourage them to keep like carrying that banner forward and doing the awesome stuff they're doing in the world? Cheer on the host. Number 3, ACE. Remember, this is how to ace podcast guesting. So we added value, we're cheering on the host, and you want to encourage the audience. The audience needs motivating, all right? The audience needs motivating lots of things. It could be their mindset. It could be do the next thing. It could be lean into the host's other content and really get to know the host. It could be taking action on what you're talking about. Now, ideally, if it's about taking action on what you're talking about, the host will really help with that process of teeing up a successful transition from, hey, go find out more about what this guest is doing and what they're saying, and here's their info, all that kind of stuff. But your job is to be very motivational. You want to help these people take action. That's the reason I've simply broken this conversation down into 3 letters, ACE, because I want you to take action. Like, if you just get anything out of all the content you're listening to today and all the books you're reading this month, if you just show up as a podcast guest and you do these 3 things, add real value in short snippets, cheer on the host because they're freaking awesome, and encourage the audience to take action, to lean into the host, to lean into you, to do the next thing. That's super important. So as an example, here's what I would like to give you today to do and take real action. I would like you to write down ACE on a sticky note, put it on your screen, whatever stays in front of you when you're actually on the next podcast, when you're the guest, and write these things down. ACE, add value, cheer host, encourage audience. And make sure that you're doing that over and over and over. By the way, I don't do this in sequence. I don't take the first third of a podcast guesting opportunity and add value, and the second third to cheer on the host, and the third to encourage the audience. I do this over and over and over in repetition, just like a wheel rolling down the track here. All right, I'm adding some value. I'm cheering on the host. Freaking Alex Sanfilippo and his team are just so amazing, and adding value and encouraging the audience to take action, do this thing. So please, right now, take out a sticky note. Whatever your thing is, write it down. Add value. Cheer host, encourage audience. I'm going to say it again, just so if you're writing, you don't have to look at the screen. Add value, cheer host, encourage audience. And I'll leave you with this. Put that sticky note up somewhere, right? I'll leave you with this. Do these things. If you think about the simplicity of this, it is your job as an expert to show up on a call and add some value. Great. But what really makes it sticky, what really makes you a comeback over and over and over guest, is the host loving you and the audience saying, wow, that was really helpful and I got something out of that. That's truly important. That's what's going to make you memorable. That's what's going to make those audience members attracted to you. That's going to make the host attracted to you. Because truly, no matter how much value you add, no matter how much knowledge you have, as they say, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. That's really, really true. Truly care for the people like Alex and Alicia Sanfilippo who run PodMatch and PodPros. Truly care for the audience members like you. I truly care about you right now because you as a guest, you have so much value to add, but I know that people won't lean in and really adopt the value you have to add if they don't feel encouraged and cheered on. So focus on those last two. I think when I'm a guest on podcast, I probably spend 80% of my time in my brain during the podcast, just looking for opportunities to cheer the audience on and cheer the host on. Because the value, they're going to remember one or two things you say. They're going to remember primarily, though, how they feel hearing from you. And I mean this when I say this to you. You're freaking genius. What you know how to do, the blood, sweat, tears, and years that you've put in to become the expert you are, to add real value as a guest is real. It's substantial. I want people to get that from you. And they're going to get that from you, not on how much knowledge you drop, but on how much care you give. So lean in, cheer on the host, encourage the audience, sprinkle in a little bit of value out along the way, and you'll be great. Do the work. We say this all the time at Group Coach Nation. Do work, get results. We just want you to do the right work. That's why I'm putting it out this way. Just do the right work. And believe it or not, most of it's showing people that you care and really adding tremendous value through the emotion of a human-to-human connection, not just knowledge drops. Do the work, get the results. Thanks for listening. Can't wait to answer some questions. Talk soon.